Is the property market in for a slowdown in 2025? So there's a lot of media commentary and property experts and reports and data showing that major cities, example Sydney especially, is pulling backwards in terms of real estate. Well, we look at the Perth market also. The Perth market since I'd say November last year has been pulling back. Now, if I look at the Perth market, for example, it had an increase in terms of capital values of about close to 20%. Average capital growth over, say, a 10-20 year period is approximately 7%, which is why we at DDP got our clients into the Perth market approximately 2 years ago and pulled out of the Perth market mid-2024 because we knew the Perth market's getting to a heated point. And so it is just due for a correction. It's not that the property market in general is pulling back. It's just there have been certain capital cities in Australia that have performed really well, example Perth and Sydney, even though interest rates have remained high. So it's just due now for a pullback. I don't think it's going through a correction. My take is that it's just going to pull back and maybe stagnate for a few months, maybe a year or so. And then since rates are going to drop this year, you're going to see that market rise eventually, probably the following year. But there are other cities we target at DDP. For example, I mentioned before Victoria and Melbourne. To me, that's definitely the underdog state that I'll be looking at buying because they've seen negative capital growth over the last few years. And, the Melbourne as a state government economy has gone backwards in terms of how they've been managing their finances. History has shown that that definitely will be the comeback market. So I reckon if you're going to be looking at buying real estate, it'll be either in the Victorian regional area or Melbourne as a city or regional Queensland as opposed to actually Brisbane, because Brisbane itself has done considerably well, similar to Perth. So I'm a bit concerned about Brisbane. So when someone says the property market is slowing down, there are markets in Australia. There is a country as a whole. There is a capital city, there's the regional areas, and there are the suburbs, and there are the streets, and then there's the individual property. So it just depends where you look, and that's why here at DDP, we try and make forecasts for the future based on what's happened in the past and help you not only get long-term growth, more importantly, short-term equity.